My name is Emily Shelton, and I'll be talking about racial equality on college campuses and universities. Colleges and universities should promote racial equality on campuses by allowing speech codes, equal opportunities, and racially conscious admissions. Speech codes. Roush talks about speech codes in schools and universities, and he believes people should be able to speak their minds without fear of punishment. He believes in doing so will lessen violence, and people will ultimately be happier because they will not have to hold in their opinions and live in fear of judgment and punishment if they're voice the wrong opinion or socially inappropriate comments towards other races. Equal opportunity in my argument is going to focus on kids from minority schools, mainly that they should be pushed just as hard as kids that are at a non-minority school. They should be recruited just as equal, and they should be looked at as equal instead of a minority school. Racially conscious admission will give the colleges or university a diverse population, which is more realistic in today's society. You can't go out in the workforce or job field or anywhere without having to deal with somebody of a different race. And colleges and universities that don't have a racially conscious admission process will miss out on that life lesson that college teaches, and like dealing with everybody and how to get along and work with everyone. Consequentialism believes that the consequences for one's conduct are the ultimate basis for any judgment about the righteousness of that conduct. There are many different types of consequentialists, but the one I want to discuss in this argument is utilitarians. They believe the only good thing in life is happiness. In the article Introduction to Moral Theory by Cecchetti, he states, happiness, they argue, is the only thing that we should pursue for its own sake. Everything else is just means to happiness. The counter-argument for this paper could be some people may look at speech codes, equal opportunity, or racially conscious admissions that they could take away from the school's educational program, and minorities might feel that they don't have to work as hard to get into a school because of their race. They feel that if they just are mediocre, they can get in because of the racially conscious admission processes, because they want their schools to be more diverse, that if their GPA or SAT, ACT scores are a little bit lower than non-minorities, that they'll get in. Schools, they can argue, are worried about reading a racial quota, which means that they have enough of every racial group to fit a diversity. And in the article Racial Preferences in Formal Equality, Pell states, in the case of the University of Michigan and other schools, the result is a series of rules intended to camouflage what they really are doing, namely using two very different academic standards in order to get a numerical result that they want. But in my argument, affirmative action is meant to help improve the school. Pell also states in his affirmative action article that affirmative action means positive steps taken to increase the representation of women and minorities in areas of employment, education, and business in which they have been historically excluded. Meaning that these affirmative action wants these kids to be involved. They want them to be looked at as equal, and that they have been excluded in the past, and we want to bring them in. Now we don't want everybody to feel that there's a higher group and a lower group based on race and where you're from or money. And in conclusion, my argument is based off the idea of utilitarianism. Speech codes, equal opportunity, and racially conscious admission is going to help colleges and universities promote racial equality and ultimately lead to happiness, which is the goal of utilitarianism, which is all tied back to consequentialism, and that concludes